my name's Andy. I've recently went on a 10-day trip around Wales, Snowdonia and Anglesey in my camper van called Pepper. This is the first time I've been out in the van for such a long time, and I learned many things about the van life experience. In the following 10-part series, you can follow me and Pepper in the hills, the valleys and the peaks to see whether we enjoyed the experience.
Well, this is something that I thought I would never see in 50 years of being on this planet. But if I open up my back doors, where we are, and there you go. While we're actually in the back of the van, I can show you a couple of things. Up here is my personal protection device. It squirts red ink in people's faces and it doesn't come off for a month. You cannot wash it off. I also have a torch up here. It's easily grabbable in case I need it in the middle of the night, so I'm not fumbling around trying to get the lights on or whatever. Jesus. That always goes up there. I also have my keys, are always there as well. So if I need to get to my keys, they're easily grabbable to switch the alarm off or do whatever. There you go. A little insight. Time to get up, lad. Come on. Stuff needs doing.
Feel it coming. The pressure start thumping, ain't no running.
There are some places that we go paddleboarding, such as canals, rivers, wharfs, estuaries even. And a few that I've done on this little van life extravaganza, if I can get my teeth in. But this one came recommended, and well, do I really need to say much more? So just put the board down. Wow, we are in Snowdonia. The clouds are rolling off the mountains to the side of me in that beautiful copper colour with the green trees underneath. And over to my left is almost mirror-like water. Beautiful. There is a little bit of breeze over to my right. But I've just got up. I haven't even had anything to eat or anything to drink. Pepper's up there. I literally just couldn't wait to get out onto this lake. Very surprised that there aren't more paddleboarders on here. I did see a couple yesterday as I drove past. Sometimes when people go on these long journeys, especially in the van, people say to you, "What have you learnt about yourself? What have you learnt?" I don't think I've learnt anything. It's one of them weird things, isn't it? I don't know. I've realised that I've got a short temper. I've realised that in the van, because you're in such a small confined space, I find that if I put something down, I forget where I've put it. Because you're either sat in the back with the alarm on and blah blah blah. By the way, you've got to get out of the van in order to put the alarm on. So when you want to be secure on a night time. So if you've forgotten something that's in the front, or you need to get out to get something from the roof box, then you've got to get back out, start the engine, blah blah blah, and round and round and round you go. So little things like that really do annoy me. I think I've just found the most perfect spot for a wild camp. Look at that in there. Wow, that would be an absolutely amazing place for a wild camp. This beautiful little cave here. Somebody's obviously built a wall here with a little partition. Get a tarp out. You could even go up there on the side of the island. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, let's head out and have a look at the rest of the lake, because we haven't even gone round the outer skirtings of it yet. And Pepper's right over there, I can see her in the distance. who's that on the bank looking at me? Next to Pepper. No bloody trouble. So while I wait for my porridge to cook, I'm at a bit of a loss now. Because there's no reception here out in the middle of Snowdonia, you can't get internet, you can't get any reception at all. It's kind of, I don't know the place well enough now to know where to be able to go on to, say, Google and say, great places to go in Snowdonia to visit. Because I fancy something like a museum again, or a castle or a church, or something that you get to walk around rather than activities such as hiking or paddleboarding, which is great, don't get me wrong. I mean, you couldn't ask for the more beautiful place to actually go out on the water. But I do feel that it's catching up with me a little bit. The lack of sleep. Last night, it was pounding it down again on the top of the van, and what tended to happen was I got this weird feeling, and next thing I know, a van came whizzing past with its little yellow blinkers on, and I was convinced that it was putting grit down. It might not have been a gritter, I was half asleep. And then I got in a little bit of a worry thinking, hang on, if they're putting grit down, that means snow. So all this tinker, 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 tinker all over the van might actually be hail or snow coming down. What happens if I get snowed in? Which I know is it ridiculous? It's probably not a ridiculous thing to say. So I couldn't sleep after that, thinking, well, if I get snowed in, I've got no reception, no GPS, no nothing. What are you going to do? How much food have I got? I've got a jar of marmalade. How long will that last me if I have a scoop every now and then? Don't laugh. This is what went through my head. And then I thought, hang on, wait a minute though. There were a load of houses down there less than a quarter of a mile. If you need to, you could wrap yourself up and walk 10 miles to suburbia. It would be no thing. Put these down because I look shabba ranks. It would be no thing. And I slept all right after that. And it turns out it wasn't a gritter. It must have been a binman or somebody that was out here in the middle of nowhere with his blinkers on. So I didn't sleep much last night. Whereas night before, brilliant. So I need to find something to do, and what that will be, well, we shall find out together. But whatever it is, it'll be me and Pepper, and that over there is where the cave is. Brilliant. Yeah, it's time to, I'm not going to leave Snowdonia, but is it cREEPY or something or other, which is what I drove through originally last night, but I couldn't find anywhere to stay. Amazingly beautiful. So we'll find somewhere. I'll just keep driving until I find GPS or some internet signal. I'll Google-age after I've had the porridge, and then we'll hit-age the road-age together. So I'm in this beautiful village called Paddleboarding. I can't spell it. I don't know how to say it either, but it is beautiful, a beautiful little village. And I've been here before on my previous Wales trip. Such a beautiful little village. And if you get the opportunity to come here, it feels like it's the equivalent of like Skipton, you know, like the gateway to the Dales or the gateway to the valleys of the peaks. And it's actually, where is it? CREEPY is what I drove through. Absolutely incredible. Beyond mind-blowing, almost godly in its stature. But if you get the opportunity to come here, do. It's great for a little pit stop, great for a coffee, and the pubs are really nice as well. There is something about the sweet smell of hay and straw in summer. And you fully expect, like on Withnell and I, that they will have farmers out the back discussing cider apples and butter, eating crumpets and jam. If you haven't seen Withnell and I, best British film ever made. Big words, I know, but all factually true. Mic drop. Oh, I'd love to be a farmer. I would. bit late in life now to be a farmhand, methinks. So it looks like this road ends up going into the forest before it heads up into the peak, and I'm not going to be going all the way up to the peak. I've got no drink, no nothing on me. I've just come out for a leisurely Thursday. I've come out for a leisurely weekly walk. I don't know what day it is, I've lost track of my days. Zero interest, mate, zero interest. Whew. I am pretty tired today, not a huge amount of sleep last night. But it does feel great to be, hate to say it, because you can't hear me, away from the van a little bit. And Belgogurt, I don't know how you pronounce it. Such a beautiful village. Yeah, this is like kind of like the time to recharge the batteries a little bit. Still no idea what I'm going to do this afternoon or where I'm going to stay, but that's part of the fun of it, and I am kind of getting used to it, and I'm really going to miss it when I have to go back to work. Please God, somebody help me. Find me a job that's well paid, that's outdoors, or working with dogs or animals or anything. Just somebody help me, please, for the love of God. Wow, speaking of God, would you look at that view. As we leave that beautiful village, we're going to be heading now to a place that I actually went to as one of the very first videos that I did here on the channel when I came to Wales. A place that had water sports, but obviously I never had the opportunity to be able to do any water sports there. But it also had a museum, and it was quite picturesque, and I remember just sitting on the grass at this place for a couple of hours contemplating life and putting the world to rights. I'm actually heading towards Lanberis. There is a slate mine there. There is a beautiful hotel that I stayed at a long time ago when I went mountain biking. Incidentally, speaking of mountain bikes, do you miss being on the bike? If I'm brutally honest, no, I don't. E-mountain biking is fantastic and it helped me grow my channel, but it is completely stressful. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about other things, but yeah, it is stressful. And where would I put it? I'd have to put it on. I have to get a tow bar and have to sort all that out. So I haven't. No. But anyway, we're heading over to Lanberis, and where we're going to stay again, no idea. We'll find out when we get there. It's all part of the adventure. Morning, ladies. So here we are. We're in Lanberis.